All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation, YouTube station? We're back Friday, October 18th here to break down another London football game. And hey, we got a doozy on tap. We got a freaking track meet here. This game is going to be the best game all season long. And we're going to do the best we can to break down this absolutely amazing game here between the battle of the 1-5 Patriots and the 1-5 Jacksonville Jaguars, who, extended their stay in London another week. They got to stay over there in London, figure out what the hell's going wrong with their entire team, and maybe they can come back here and beat Drake May and these Patriots here. The chains are off Drake May for these Patriots, Ham, and we'll do our best to break it down here and see how these two teams can score fantasy points here tonight or this morning, I should say. But I'll bring you in, man. Happy Friday. What's going on, brother? Obviously, it's a recorded show here, but how's your week been? What's up, man?
Yeah, no, it's been a good week. We had a great week over here at SHIPIT Nation. Multiple shippers. Our guy Hebrew, 100K in the NHL streets. But this game, hey, it's still prize pools. 100,000 up top, a couple 50Kers in there as well. So two bad teams, but there's going to be a winner. Hopefully, it's one of us. Looking forward to breaking it down with you.
Yeah, we just saw two bad teams going at it really realistically last night with the Broncos and the Saints, right? And I think it's another kind of similar type game on this game, right? Two bad teams here. You can make the case, right? One of these teams just comes in and is just light years better than the other one, right? Kind of what we saw last night. The Broncos just absolutely owned them in every facet of the game last night, and that's where you saw that 5-1 Broncos team get home to the full shipper there. So could use that and apply that to this game, right? With a 41.5 total. Jags are now up to 6-point favorites. It started at 5, I think, moved to 5.5. Now it's up to 6. So obviously the money and the line is moving in the Jags favor here. And last week London, they looked pretty atrocious against the Chicago Bears there. Caleb Williams absolutely lit them up, right? Career ceiling game there. And Drake May coming in off a decent game against Houston, who I think is a much better defense than what Jacksonville is here. And they kind of let him sling the ball, right? He had 33 pass attempts last week. So we'll take that for what it's worth as we break it down here. But let's go ahead and pull the stone up here, Ham. We're a little bit more people friendly here than the Sunday show for the main slate, right? There's a little bit more meat on the bone for the main slate stone versus the one game single game showdown here for a London game. So we'll throw the stone, the best tool in all of DFS, up on the screen here for everyone for free. Obviously, this is a premium piece of content right behind the payroll that we have for all sports, including NHL here, which I'll just flash up on the screen real quick. I know this isn't an NHL show, but me being the NHL guy, I got to give a shout out to the NHL product we have over here at SHIPIT Nation. There's still good prize pools, including obviously 100K, right? My guy Rio. I know election day, there's going to be a massive prize pool contest coming for NHL as well, in the realm of 200 to 250,000 up top for the election day there for NHL. So obviously we got the stone for all these sports here, and NBA right around the corner where our guy Rio is going to be heading up there. So let's flip back to the NFL stone here as we talk through captains. And as you can see from the captain standpoint, we got the two quarterbacks atop the rankings in terms of salary, right, that we haven't seen too much of, especially two guys that really don't have a ton of rushing upside, be the most expensive price guys, but we're dealing with injuries here. Obviously, ETN is not going to be in this game, so we got Tank Bigsby here. He's at 13-2. You got Brian Thomas Jr., who's looked like a stud in his rookie campaign here. He's 14-1. Ramondre Stevenson is questionable, but he does say he anticipates to play in this game. He's 13-8 at the captain position. But you see the rush defense here for the Jags is a B+ on the good report card rating down in the lower right-hand corner. Both both of these teams, pass defense, D and a D plus, back to school. You see that D on your report card. It's not good. Your parents are kind of taking the old broomstick and smacking you where the sun don't shine too much, right? So, hey, what are we going to do here from the captain position? Is it a wide receiver slate for you? Are you going to get to these kind of basically pocket passers, right? From the quarterback standpoint, they can obviously spread the ball around. But Ham, how are you going to approach the captain spot here tonight, or this morning, I should say, for this London game?
Yeah, I mean it's a good game, I guess, in terms of I know where I'm going to be as it relates to the captain. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, the two highest priced players in this slate, which normally, we normally see it. We saw Justin Jefferson a couple weeks ago. We saw a DJ Moore last week in the London game. So it's kind of unique to see these two quarterbacks up here in the top tier. The thing with Trevor Lawrence, I like Trevor Lawrence a little bit better than Drake May. He does have a little bit of rushing upside if he has to, but he just has so many. He has so many weapons. We talked about it, or Tambo talked about it when A-Rod was optimal a couple weeks ago. But he has Brian Thomas, he has Bigsby that can catch passes, he has Kirk, he has Ingram, who he threw to a bunch. Gabe Davis had 8 targets last week. I like Trevor Lawrence up there in the captain spot. Probably would be my favorite Jag. I definitely like him more than Drake May. I mean, we saw it last night too. That game you said, the 5-1. I do think the Jags win this game. I mean, they're 6-point favorites. They're bad, but I think they got more weapons. This Patriots team is beat up. Jabril Peppers is still out. So Lawrence would be my favorite captain for the Jags. And then, man, I keep going back to Christian Kirk. I know he's been underwhelmed for the most part. He had one good game earlier in the season against the Texans, but at 11-4 in the slot, he could get peppered with targets, and he got 6 last week, dropped a touchdown pass. They all dropped a touchdown pass, I felt like, but this is a game that the Jaguars have to win. If they don't win, what's his face? Doug, the head coach, whatever his last name is, he won't be the head coach come Monday. I can promise that if they lose this game. I think they win this game. Trevor Lawrence, my favorite captain, followed by Christian Kirk. I think you could slide any of those receivers in there, Thomas or Ingram, but no Patriots captains for me. I think they get rolled in this one.
Yeah, so this is going to make the show a little fun here. I don't know if I'm just the contrarian GPP guy, but I think this is a spot here for the Patriots. Like I said, the wheels are off, right? Drake May, their highly drafted rookie that they took in that draft. He finally got thrown in there last week against Houston. Fared decently well. Did throw 2 picks, but still threw over 240 yards, I think, and had 3 touchdowns there. I think they unleash him here, and there's not a better matchup in the NFL than against these Jacksonville Jaguars. We just saw last week Caleb Williams absolutely light this team up. I think Drake May is my favorite quarterback play on the slate by far. I think he comes in under-owned than what Trevor Lawrence does as well. You can make the case that, hey, Jacksonville's used to being in London, right? They just were in London last week. They probably stayed there, I would assume, all week long and practiced and did their routines in that over in London. Don't quote me on that, but I had to assume they're not traveling back just to travel back again. They're in London. They're already kind of acclimated in that, but I do think the Patriots come in here and they at least keep this game close from a fantasy standpoint. I actually think they have an outside shot to win here. I just don't think Jacksonville's very good. I think Drake May kind of rejuvenated this offense a little bit. They did score 20 plus on the Houston Texans last week. So I like Drake May from a captain position. I don't think I get to these quarterbacks too much in the captain spot. I just think if I were to go one, it'd definitely be Drake May over Trevor Lawrence. But I like the position skill players here for the captain spot. I'll start on the Patriots side. Demario Douglas, my favorite captain play here. Jacksonville ranks dead last in the league against opposing wide receivers. So I like Pop Douglas. I like Jalen Polk as two. If you're looking for a cheaper guy, Jalen Polk, I think, makes a lot of sense as well. He's the number 2. They're high on this dude, young guy. Demario Douglas obviously popped off last week. I like going right back to the well, wide receiver 1 there. So for me, it's Pop Douglas, it's Jalen Polk from the Patriots side. Those are my 2 favorite captains there. I think Hunter Henry is an interesting play, but not in the captain spot. Austin Hooper's just still getting too much work there. So for me, it's really Douglas, really Polk. Ramondre Stevenson, I don't think I really want to go there, to be honest. He's kind of banged up. Gibson's already getting work there. but he would be kind of a contrarian captain play, just not for me. So I'm going pass catchers from the Patriots side, and Drake May would be my third guy from the Patriots in terms of captains. On the flip side, Jaguars, I like Tank Bigsby a lot here in the captain spot. I think it's direct leverage right off of Trevor Lawrence as well. And you can attack these Patriots on the ground. You can attack them pretty much everywhere, right? So I don't mind taking Bigsby here. He's looked good in the limited snaps he's got behind ETN. Now he's the main guy here. So I really like his floor ceiling combination. I like his price point there at 13-2. I like him a ton. And then Evan Ingram. I'm going to go back to the well. Patriots historically have been pretty bad against opposing tight ends. Ingram came back last week and absolutely feasted. Trevor Lawrence it feels like his first read every single time is Evan Ingram on the field. So I really like Evan Ingram a ton. So for me, it's Ingram, it's Bigsby on the Jag side. And then on the Patriots side, it's Pop Douglas, Drake May, number 2 for the Patriots. And then Jalen Polk would be my kind of tournament sleeper from the Patriots standpoint in terms of captains. But throw it over to you in terms of flex here, Ham. We got to talk about it. Joey Sly, Cam Little, 2 kickers here. They're 5,200. Cam Little, Joey Sly, 5K. Sly has been known to bang some long field goals in there, have a pretty good floor overall. Talk on those guys, and then the defenses at 4K and 4,400. We just saw obviously defense be optimal last night in that Broncos showdown slate there. This is kind of a similar game. So in 5-1 type builds, I think it would be beneficial to throw a defense in, because like I said, you could see one of these teams just come in and kind of steamroll the other in an ugly game like this, where the 5-run builds can definitely make more sense in a spot like this versus a back and forth style game with a higher total.
Yeah, we saw it. You finally got a defense in the optimal, and then you had a kicker per usual last night with Will Lutz in that game. And once again, we've seen these teams, he was hitting 50-yarders. Both of these teams have a good enough offense to move it between the 20s and stall out. So I think the kickers definitely in play. I'm more team Jags this week than Patriots. So I would side with Little over Sly. Sly can definitely bang it in from 50+. No big deal. The one defense I do have interest in, and I do think Jaguars again. I like the Jaguars defense. I do think Drake May, had a decent game last week, over 20 DraftKings points. But hey, rookie making his, a start on the road, if you will, traveling first time over to London. So I think maybe a different little atmosphere for him. I don't mind the Jags defense, and then I really like Dearness Johnson in the flex as well. Maybe a couple shares in the captain spot. I mean, he actually played 50% of the snaps last week. ETN, I just looked it up, and I don't think he's been confirmed out. I think he's game time decision. So obviously keep it in mind. If ETN is active, I would lower it a little bit on Dearness, but Dearness paid over 50% of the snaps last week, and at $4,800, I think that's a great price. They're going to feed him. They're going to want to run it. Him and Bigsby, I like both of them.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown there. We differ a little bit in terms of the defense. I just think the Jacksonville defense is absolutely atrocious. Like I said, we both said Caleb Williams isn't a good quarterback. I still stand by that. And he looked like a Hall of Fame quarterback thrown against this Jacksonville team. So this Jaguars team hasn't scored over 5 fantasy points all season long. So really not going to get to them. But I do like the Patriots defense. We know Trevor Lawrence can be a bonehead, make mistakes, throw picks. Pick sixes, right? Patriots historically have always been a decent defense. They do have a ceiling of 11 points this year. Not a love for the defense. I think the defenses in a game like this do come in a little bit inflated in terms of ownership, especially after what we just saw last night. This is a pretty similar game at a 41.5 total. I think Thursday night's game was 38.5.
Yeah, 37, 30 something. Yeah.
Yeah, 38, something like that. So pretty similar in terms of game totals here. It's in London. These games usually play a little bit sloppier anyways. So I think the defenses overall get inflated. I'm just going to move that to the kickers. What's one constant that's been all season long? It's the year of the kickers. I mean, 50-yarders feel like chip shots. I like both these kickers a lot. I actually prefer Cam Little a little bit here because I do think overall I just like the Patriots side more. So I'm hoping the Patriots are scoring more touchdowns, whereas the Jags are still pushing the ball, still trying to keep pace. It is kind of how I'm playing it, and then get stalled out kind of towards the red zone there. And Cam Little has been banging field goals, obviously averaging 8 fantasy points. He's 5,200. He's got a good floor Good floor ceiling combination, I think, for a kicker. So he is more expensive. But I do like Cam Little a little bit more than Joey Sly, but I love both the kickers here over the defenses. I'm going to be pretty much underweight on the defenses. I just don't think either of these defenses is really good. I thought the Broncos defense is one of the best in the league, so I was super, super heavy. I think I had like 60-some% Broncos defense on Thursday night here. I'm probably going to have sub 20%, I would say, of both these defenses here, and probably 30 to 40% of the kickers, I would think here. But let's jump into some more of these flex plays. You already brought up the Dearness Johnson. I like that take there. At flex, he's 4,800. He's also a direct pivot right off of those kickers, sandwiched between the kickers and the defenses. They like this dude a ton. And even if you think like I do, the Patriots win this game, Dearness even gets a bigger role, I think, as a pass catcher. The trailing back, Tank's obviously going to be the lead back. He can get some work in the receiving game, but Dearness is really kind of their Swiss Army knife, if you will, out of that backfield. So I do like that take there in terms of Dearness Johnson in the flex. I like that in Patriots heavy builds. I like going more on Dearness versus Tank there. But let's talk about these receiving room, this receiving room here, because on the Patriots you got Keyshawn Boot, you got Kendrick Bourne, you got KJ Osborne, all the way down at 1,200. He had a good game last week. Then you got Pop Douglas, who finally scored a touchdown last week, and Jalen Polk, the highly touted young prospect there for the Patriots. And then on the Jag side, you got four guys as well, pretty much three guys, right, with Brian Thomas, Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, who kind of emerged last week. And then you still have Parker Washington down there at 1K. You got Ingram, you got Brenton Strange. So let's talk about these pass catchers here, because you got two tight ends on both teams that get work, get routes, get passes, and play good snaps, right? They're both playing 60% plus of the snaps. Hunter Henry obviously out-snapping Hooper, but Hooper's still involved, and he's $4,000 cheaper than what Hunter Henry is. So from a pass catcher standpoint, what's kind of your take on here? Are you going to play them all? Who you heavier on? What's your breakdown?
Yeah, really for me on the Patriots side, I don't mind DeMario Douglas. Got peppered, I think, with 10 targets last week, got in the box. He was actually, I watched y'all show on Monday, he was in the Line Star app optimal lineup. You needed him to have the perfect lineup last week. So DeMario Douglas, Pop Douglas, I think that's a good play for sure. Jalen Polk, he played 100% of the snaps 2 weeks ago, dropped down to I think 70% last week. So he's still getting a lot of runs. So I definitely like him at $3,000. I watched his Patriots Texans game last week, and they set some stat like he's been targeted 21, 22 times, only completed 9 passes to him. If they get that up, I think Jalen Polk at $3,000 is a good price. I won't get to Butte or Booty, whatever you say, the LSU great. He did catch a touchdown pass, but I think that was his only catch last week. And then Kendrick Bourne, he's not back yet in terms of his health. I know he played last week. And then KJ Osborne, no thank you. Hunter Henry got in the box. I think he's probably serviceable. I personally, if I'm going down into that range, would rather get to Dearness Johnson and maybe Gabe Davis. But for me, it's really going to be Douglas and Polk from the Pat side. And then I can't play Gabe Davis, Nades. I mean, I know he got 8 targets last week, but man, he's so bad. Throw the ball to Brian Thomas, throw it to Christian Kirk. And then, like you said about the training wheels, they took him right off Evan Ingram, peppered him with 10 targets in that game last week. I'm going back to Evan Ingram this week. I don't even think I hate Evan Ingram in the captain spot if you wanted to do that, if you wanted to build it that way. But it's Thomas Jr., it's Kirk, it's Ingram for me from the pass catching perspective for the Jags.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown there. We differ a little bit. Boot got 83% of the snaps. He actually led this receiving room last week. Him and Brian Thomas combined for 83% of the snaps, respectively, for both teams. So I actually like Keyshawn Booty or Boot, however you pronounce it, because I think Jalen Polk, right, to your point, Jalen Polk looks like the better play. He's cheaper as well. I think inflating ownership goes that way as well. And, I mean, you saw this dude, how he was in LSU in college. I mean, this guy was an absolute stud. They still like him. He caught a touchdown last week. He did catch all 3 of his targets, I believe, last week as well. Caught all 3 of his targets for 59 yards, caught the touchdown. He had 2 targets the week before that. So it's gone 1, 2, and 3. His snaps have also trended up. So I think with Drake May under center, it just overall improves these pass catchers a lot more. For the Patriots guys. So I actually like him over Jalen Polk. I think that's going to be a little bit unique there. Polk's fine. Pop Douglas is one of my favorite plays on the entire slate. He's back-to-back weeks with 9 targets. He finally got the touchdown monkey off his back last week. I think more of that more of that stays the same here. So I really like those guys. Hunter Henry and Hooper are fine, but I prefer the tight end spot coming from the Jags. Evan Ingram looks like a smash. Like I said, Trevor Lawrence, these guys must sleep together or something. Play Pictionary, whatever you want to say, sitting over there in London all week, because these dudes, Trevor Lawrence looks to Evan Ingram every single time. It feels like he can get there without Trevor Lawrence. So don't be afraid to play even Evan Ingram in the captain spot without Trevor Lawrence. I think makes some sense, but Evan Ingram just seems like the target hog, the floor PPR type guy, which fits DraftKings scoring perfectly. He's a huge red zone target as well. So I like him a ton. And then I'm with you. I'm not chasing the Gabe Davis game. Gabe Davis usually had 1 or 2 of these weeks a year last year in Buffalo. Coming off a massive game last week, I think that inflates his ownership as well. I'm much rather just go to Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk's my favorite Jags receiver. I'm with you there outside of Evan Ingram. So for me, it's Ingram, number 1, Kirk, number 2, Thomas, number 3, Fade and Gabe. And then I like, obviously, those running backs there with Tank and DeAndre there if ETN does stay out. So overall, I think we hit on it pretty good. I do think 5-1 builds make more sense here on both sides because I think this could be a game here where you see one of these teams just kind of come in over head and shoulders above the other one, right? Based on the kind of nature of both these two teams, both the defenses here. You attack both these teams through the air is what you want to do. So you could see something like that, but 4-2 is probably my preferred route here tonight. But any thoughts on that from you?
Yeah, I think 1-5 is, or 5-1, however you want to look at it. I think that's going to be kind of off the radar. I think I'll be getting to more 4-2s, maybe like a Douglas and a kicker or something like that, or Slaw. But it's going to be more 4-2s for me. And then I may have some 2-4s too, right? With Pop in the captain, right? With Slaw or something like that, and then 4 Jags surrounding that. We'll just have to see how it goes when we build these lineups Sunday morning.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown there. Nothing really more to add there. Don't really want to repeat too much more. But again, appreciate everyone watching. If you guys haven't, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you want access to the Stone like this for the main slate for every sport, including NBA, which is returning next week, I think Tuesday, tips off there, opening night. We got a full array of projections, slate plan, core plays, and a Stone for NBA as well. We got it for NHL as well. That makes it very easy to digest lineups. Hebrew Cheetah shipped over $100,000 on Tuesday. He's never played an NHL slate in his life. So he jumped in, used my content, my matchup sheet, the Stone, to build winners there. If you want access to that for all sports, NBA 15 is the promo code. Get in, locked in now, 15% off any membership plan, including All Access Pass. If you do sign up for the monthly All Access, brings it down to $85 a month, includes all of our sports, including our Shiptimizer, which is our in-house optimizer designed to help you ship. Every sport is included in that outside of NHL and college football, but those are shortly to be added at no additional cost to you. So $85 a month, NBA 15, use that promo code, get locked in now. We got PGA swing season going on. We got obviously NFL. We still got the MLB playoffs going on, MMA, you name it, we have it going on. NBA 15 is the promo code, but thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. Drop a comment down below with your scores, your favorite captains, your predictions. But for Hamwich, I'm Nadesify. Good luck tonight in those contests. Hope to see the SHIPIT Nation logos at the top. Let's ship it.